Cześć, to Andrzej. It's me again. At the beginning, remember that all my videos are sponsored by Nina, a little girl who fights with horrible disease. We try to raise the money for the most expensive med in the world. So check the link below. Put any kind of cash you can. That's how we will show that my work has some kind of sense. MT09, the new look of MT09. There's a funny story behind MT series. You remember 2013, it came on the market and it was like a big blast because Japanese manufacturers showed the bikes which were like encouraging us to ride fast, to ride dirty, with the theme of dark side of Japan. And the story behind it is like there was a group of European representatives of Yamaha, and they were trying to talk with Japanese department that we need something more exciting for European market and US market, and they were like, they didn't understand what it's all about. But thank God there was one guy from Japan working in Europe, and he translated it in Japanese way, what we need. People in Europe and States, they really like this underground Japanese culture. It's really cool for us, and they were like, yeah, okay, so then you can do it. That's how we get the first MT09, and the first MT09 I wasn't a big fan of it, just because it was about, in my opinion, all the MT bikes like MT09, MT07, they were sold with the first impression. You just look at the bike, it looks cool, you just sit on it in the dealership, you have a test ride, you hit the gas and it was like, whoa, what's that? It was like pulling on the back wheel all the time, crazy aggressive, crazy bike. But in the end, it wasn't so quick. It wasn't so quick in the turns, so it wasn't so quick on the track. And in the end, it was a good bike, but it wasn't my favorite. This one, it may be a different story. Let's start from the style of it. Design was made in Japan. So, in my opinion, it's like if we don't understand totally the culture of Japanese people, maybe we don't understand this style yet. Because check this out, this proportion is totally different. Usually we have like, the lamp is pretty low, then we have a tank, and then everything goes more or less up. This is the way we are used to. The way the bikes look, that you know what I mean. And this proportion is totally different, so we'll see. To be honest, when I checked it in the back mirror, we look at it from the side, it's not so bad, but in the end, this part, you can see the wires here, horn, like, I don't get it, I just don't get it. My idea is like, we can fix it, like maybe this popular stuff, although we have the mask, if we put it like this, it suddenly gets better. Or I would put a little fence over here, so it would look like a dog who looks at the fence, you know. But it's a balance. Because in my opinion, everything in the world goes to the balance, you know, this yin and yang stuff. And because its style is so different, so strange, on the other side, there has to be performance, and the performance is, this is a different level. I couldn't barely compare the first MT09 to this one. The difference is huge. The character is still there, the inline-3 engine. You know, Yamaha took the concept from Triumph and now they master it. The new engine, because the engine is totally new, it has bigger capacity, it is lighter. It's like 1.7 kilograms lighter than the previous one. so you can feel it revs easier, it wants to go faster, and man, I just love this bike. It has torque, it has mid-range, it has top, it has right now 119 horsepower, something like that, and 93 Newton meters. So in the times when with Euro 5, all the bikes, they lose the power or just stay on the same level, this time we get something more. And the same story is behind the weight, because now we are happy if the bike stay on the same level, because it needs to have this more equipment. In this case, the weight dropped for 4 kilograms or something like that. And it went down in really good places, like wheels. They are forged. I don't know how they did it, but they managed to put forged wheels on it. They look cool, like from some old CBX or something. But as you know, if wheels are light, we already have different bikes to ride. It's such a big difference. Maybe because of that, the handling changed so much. The first MT09, the thing is that MT09, its mass, central mass, is really, really low. We have a lot of mass down below because engine, you can see it, is quite low. So the first impression is that the bike is really light, because the first moment of turning is really easy. But back in the days, the previous models, if you went to the racetrack and you started to pull the bike lower and lower, you could feel that it doesn't want to turn so much. It wanted to go up again. In Poland, we call it bańka wstańka. It's a little toy. If you push it, it always goes up. That was the feeling with previous models. With this one today, we went really fast on the roads, and I didn't get this feeling at all. We need to wait for the time we go to the racetrack, and then I will confirm it. But for now, it looks that this problem was solved, maybe because of the lighter wheels, maybe because of the lighter engine, because if engine is lighter, the masses are lighter, so it wants to lean more. So anyway, great work. Also, suspension is revised. It's still soft. It's from time to time, it floats a little bit when we have a bump, but it stabilizes itself really quickly. And for me, I like it. I don't like the street bikes to be too hard, because it doesn't make any sense. We have to remember that soft suspension also makes the bike handle to handle lighter. So for me, it's a good option. There was no drama at all at any moment. Sometimes you feel the front, because we are quite on the front, you can feel a little movements, a little maybe chatter even, but that was the point when I started to push really hard. Another thing, which is great when we think about Euro 5 compliance, is the sound. I saw in the presentation that there was a specific team to work on the sound with the stock exhaust. And I don't think it's way better than the previous models, but what is good that it stayed good. It sounds great, and you don't hear the engine. Engine is perfectly smooth when you talk about sound. You don't hear anything strange in it. You have only this raw dźwięk, hałas. That's in Polish. What's more, what I don't like in this bike, at some points, the finish, like when I look at this lever, I just cannot believe someone put it in the brand new bike. It looks from some agricultural machine. Good thing is that we can buy sport packs, so you have Gilles rear sets. They look really cool. But, for example, in every bike you have possibility to adjust them. You have different holes, you can raise it up. It's quite cool thing. Also, you can change the handlebar, move them forward. This master cylinder. The brakes, the power of brakes overall, I think it's more or less the same, but now you don't have to push the lever hard as it was in the previous models, because the previous pump was like, it was okay, but if you want to push really hard the brakes, you have to squeeze it hard. Now all the day long I was using just the front, just one brake. Oh, another drawback. ABS. At one point it's great because now we have IMU and cornering ABS. This is pretty great that in the bike with this price tag, it's around 9,000 euros, you have IMU and cornering ABS, but still we don't have ABS Supermoto mode. We cannot switch it off on the rear wheel. It doesn't make sense. It's the Japanese logic again. Every time when I talk with Japanese engineers, they said, but ABS is for safety. And I try to tell them that ABS ABS Supermoto is even safer than normal one, because many guys in south of France or wherever, from time to time having this bike, they want to make some stoppie, and it's great doing stoppies because of the brakes, of the geometry, we can roll really long ones. You would like to slide into the corner because there is a power in the brakes, the bike wants to turn, and you have a sleeper clutch, you have this great quick shifter with downshifting option, so you want to slide the bike into the corner and you cannot do this. So what I would do, and probably most people will do, is gonna remove the fuse, so you will not have ABS at all. And at this moment it stops to be safe. Also on the racetrack, I'm pretty sure that this ABS would work perfectly, but if you brake really hard, the back wheel will lift, you will start to feel the work of the ABS. So for the track use, first of all, we need switchable ABS to turn it off on the back wheel. Wheelies. This is one strong part of MT09. In previous models, it wanted to go all the time on the back wheel. With this one, is the same. The difference is that the previous models, they were not so easy to handle. With the fast wheelies, it was pretty okay because there was a speed and you could adjust it really well. But when it came for some slow wheelies, for some technical stuff, it was pretty tricky because it was really aggressive. Now the new injection engine is much smoother, so basically you can do whatever you want. This is one of the best bikes for any kind of wheelies you want to make. It pops up with the clutch on the third gear easily. You can do it even on fourth gear. With this gearbox, you just hit the another gears. I was on top, I was today on the fifth gear. If I would have a space, I think I could put sixth gear and just go forever. So, yeah. If you want to have fun and you know how to do it, I think this is the one. Other stuff, electronics. Once again, the previous MT09 was, as I said, really crazy, aggressive, and if there was a traction control, but the problem was that you couldn't do any wheelies with that. It was really aggressive, offensive. So you hit the gas, it went a little bit up. The electronic was cutting out, so we were dropping the wheel really hard. Now it's a different story. Now you have really proper traction control with slide control system, and you can separately turn off the wheelie control. So then you can do everything and still you have traction control on. So you exit the corner, you can hit the gas, and then you have the straight, you can pop a wheelie. But if you cannot do this, right now, with wheelie control on level 1, you can get this excitement and get this feeling how it is to push the wheelies. Because if you are smooth, remember to be smooth. If you accelerate smoothly, the bike will just go up on first and second gear, and maybe third if you have some bump. And then it will, you just keep the gas open, and you just go on the back wheel for some time and drop it quite really smoothly. So it's great. People are telling often that, oh, this electronics, it's killing the real fun of riding bikes. You know what? For me, machines are for us, not we are for the machines. If we can have a bike which will give us excitement in safe way, I want to have it. To be honest, I switched off traction control, this wheelie control, only in the end, and for most of the time I just kept it on because it was just enough. When I was exiting the corner, hitting the gas, small wheelie, dropping it, and going fast again. Quick shifter is great. Gearbox is pretty harsh, but precise. Every time I never had any problem with that. What more? I don't know. For me, it's a balance. It's like a perfectly balanced bike, you know. If you have this look and the performance, it's balanced, let's say. But in the end, this bike is basically for everything. If you can afford only to have one brand new motorcycle and you don't want to go off-road, I think this is a great option. In city, it's really smooth. The engine, this engine is one of the best engines you can buy. It's so smooth from the down bottom. You can cruise on 4th, 5th, 6th gear, and it's super comfy. It's really agile when you go to the corners. If you put some screen or even not, you just you can hit the route. You can travel across the Europe without any problem. You can go on the racetrack, and I think even now with this model, it will be possible. Maybe if you're gonna start to be quicker, then you maybe think about SP version with all-ins at the back and Kayaba at the front. But I'll check this out on the racetrack soon, I hope. Good bike. For this price, it's gonna be hard to beat. If you like this review, please remember, link below. Let's save Nina together, and then I will make more stuff for you. If you have any questions, just leave the comment. I try to answer. Cześć, dziękuję.